Okay, so we've talked about the posters today. I hope you had a chance to visit them. A lot of good information out there. We have a judging contest that is part of this event. And we have 5 awards to give out. We have 2 honorable mentions, and we have a 3-2-1 process. So I hope everybody's in the room. And if I call your name, please come on up. I'd like to get a memorialized picture to get to you, and then we'll process through this, and then we'll turn it over to our secretary, and we'll close the day here in just a few. So, first of all, we appreciate the effort by everybody to put together the demonstrations and the posters. It does really help those that attend. They get a chance to see these. These are also available in other forms, but just to see the topics, it does make a difference. You never know where that one nugget's coming from. Where's that one idea that's going to lead to some other idea? So again, the effort is very much appreciated. So our honorable mention, first one goes to Stephen Roserum for restraint expansion of type K shrinkage compensating concrete. Come on up, Stephen. Our second honorable mention goes to Sumangali Sevkumaran for cumulative damage to Oklahoma bridges due to large number of small earthquakes, University of Oklahoma. Our third place award today, and comes with an $80 cash prize, is Connor Casey, University of Oklahoma, ultra high performance concrete for connections of precast pre-stressed girders made continuous for live load. Our second place award, with a $100 cash prize, goes to Christopher Waite, Oklahoma State University, understanding the behavior of steel connections with bolts and welds in combinations. And our first place award, and I'm going to ask this winner, when we're done, we will play his submission video that all the posters had and give him a chance to talk through his project for a little bit. And if you have any questions, we'll give him a few minutes of time. Jacob Choate, University of Oklahoma, implementing fiber-reinforced self-consolidating concrete as a repair material for ashtray pre-stressed concrete girders. This comes with a $150 cash prize. So as part of our poster judging process, each submitter has a 3-minute video. Eric, if you wouldn't mind to kick off this video, and we'll watch the video.
At the University of Oklahoma, covering the implementation of fiber-reinforced self-consolidating concrete as a repair material for AASHTO pre-stressed concrete bridge girders. Over the past few years, the infrastructure status of the United States has been continually exploited for its dilapidated state, despite the millions spent to address it. Current methods to address damaged concrete structures is to perform expensive repairs to replace the entire member. But what if there was a way to rehabilitate structures at lower costs? This research aims to address that by using a specifically designed fiber-reinforced self-consolidating concrete, or FRSEC, to repair damaged concrete members. In our study, we took a retired pre-stressed AASHTO Type 2 bridge girder as our full-scale specimen. This girder had been tested in shear until complete failure at each of its ends. After this testing, we took the damaged state of the girder, marked our extents of the repair section, and began removing damaged concrete. Because the member was pre-stressed, additional hardware and reinforcing steel was added to the repair section to restore this loss of strength. Once the internal steel was replaced and the formwork fully sealed, the repair FRSEC was cast onto the member. This concrete is a specifically designed repair by replacement material that implements both fibers and shrinkage compensating cement to counter the inherent effects of casting new concrete against aged concrete. Upon completion of the repairs, the repair testing featured the exact same loading arrangement that was implemented during previous testing of the girder. What resulted was that the repairs acted cohesively with the existing sections of the member, and that they were able to restore the capacity of each end up to approximately 80% of the originally tested strength. When comparing the testing results, it is clear that the failures for each end were changed from shear-based to flexure-based failures, and that the ultimate repair strength exceeded the originally designed demand by almost 175%. In conclusion, the FRSEC repair material was able to fully fill the repair zones, perform in union with the existing member, and restore it to serviceable loading, thus proving it to be a viable repair solution for a damaged concrete member.
Good stuff. So anything you want to add? You want to talk through this a little bit, or?
I guess you guys might have recognized the beam that's Dr. Floyd talked about it earlier in his presentation. I just want to say thanks to all the guys from OU, all the guys from OU that because we kind of work together, we collaborate a lot to get the best results. I also want to thank my professor, Dr. Jeffrey Voles, and Dr. Floyd. They were a lot of help and a lot of guidance. And thank you for ODOT for the girder.
Good. I'm going to turn it over now to our secretary to wrap us up. Appreciate those of you that have hung in there today. I hope you got something out of this. As I stated before, we need ideas. We want ideas. If you've got any ideas, please always let us know. One last thing, as you leave, if you take your badges and drop them off at the front, we can reuse these, save a little money. Always a good thing. And with that, Mr. Secretary, I'll turn it over to you and let you finish and close us out. Thank you.
I don't know if we did this today because I had to leave for a little bit, but David, you and your team have done a great job today, and I appreciate all the work that goes into this. So let's give these guys a round of applause. I don't, that voting thing's pretty cool. And I even got the answers right. I'm just not fast enough on my device to get in, or I can't win a prize. I'm too old and too slow. But I'm trying. There's another group of folks that I want to acknowledge, and that's our video guys that are here recording all this. And Nick's behind that box, and he stays behind the box. Eric, excuse me, not Nick. Eric's behind the box. So let's give them a round of applause. I'm sorry, Eric, I didn't mean to call you Nick. That's all right. He's a good man wherever he is today. Well, so we started off this morning. I had an opportunity to visit with you and then Mr. Winfrey, and you can see there's a lot of changes. One of the things that, in looking at automated or autonomous vehicles, you know, on the second floor of the ODOT building and in many of the consulting firms that we work with today, they are designing projects for us to take bids on in 2022. And if you get the notion that the fleet will be automated, autonomous, clearly before 2030, what are they designing for? What vehicle are they trying to design for? Because those vehicles are here, they're only going to increase in numbers, and by 2030, I suspect there'll be a considerable number of them. And so the projects that we're going to construct in 2022, by 2030, they're only 8 years old with a 30-year design life. So we've got to come up with some solutions, keeping our finger on the pulse of what's going on. Earlier, it was mentioned the folks who came out of state. Who all's been to Auburn, Alabama? You guys ever been there? It ain't easy to get there. You can't get there from here, as a matter of fact. But having Dr. Powell come up and make that trip, and of course Mr. Winfrey, that's not there, but he's out there, but he's sitting right there, for someone of his stature to join us today was immense for me. It's always good to hear another professional talk about something that I'm immersed in at the moment. As I looked around the crowd, and you know, there's a lot of different disciplines in this crowd. Over here, we have the accounting staff sitting on that table right there. So, 2 tables. So the next finance conference, you all are invited. And we're going to talk about which side the debits go on and which side the credits go on, okay? We'll do some balance sheet and some return on investment stuff. But that's what it's all about. They're here to learn about what's going on at the Department of Transportation so that they have a well-rounded education. That's what that's all about. We learned about performance measures. That is a huge deal at the Department of Transportation right now as we begin to change some of our current performance measures, understand the new ones and what the US DOT is going to be looking for. Don will tell you they have no idea, but they're going to get there. Isn't that what you said yesterday? Oh, okay. You wouldn't put it that way. But that's true. All states are struggling with that just a little bit. The notion, and I heard Greg Winfrey talk about it this morning, about the level 4, I think it was, or level 3, where the driver has to take over. I get them backwards. Where the driver has to take over. And then it was mentioned again. As an airplane pilot, I know that I go through the same thing. I will set the autopilot, but I can never go to sleep. And I, like many of those in the industry, are concerned that the drivers are literally going to go to sleep. It's not, they're gonna embrace this notion that they can push a button, take their hand off the wheel, and start texting. And you cannot do that. You still have to pay attention. You are still the primary operator of that vehicle. You have some help doing it, but you're still the primary operator. Clearly, when you're in the front of the cockpit like I have been, and you push the button, you're still looking at everything. You're paying attention to what's going on. And I hope you had a chance, last but not least, I hope you had a chance to go see our new GoDot vehicle that was out in the parking lot. That's something that we've been working on for just a short 10 years to try to get that in place. So we're extremely excited about having that. That was brought to us through a collaboration with the Federal Highway Administration. We really appreciate their participation in getting the first two vehicles in Oklahoma. We will continue to expand that fleet. There's a lot more to that than meets the eye in terms of the types of employees that you want in those vehicles and where you want them deployed. And last, thank you for being here. The crowd grows every year. I know you're here because the cookies are great, but I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you got to network. And thank you to the students for bringing your ideas, and thank you to each one of you for implementing those ideas going forward. Have a great evening.